Tanto of SpeedrunLUKSO. How are you, man?
GM, love this common ground call. Love the quality so far. Um, Speedrun Luxo, like everyone's been hearing about it and they're wondering when. And the answer is soon, but sooner than you think. Speedrun Luxo is something that has been like I've had in the idea since I kind of speed ran Ethereum and then participated in that hackathon last year. It's like coming from uh, how to be like speedrun Ethereum is probably the best course on how to take like a full stack web 2 dev and just teach him the gotchas of like, okay, now I'm doing this in web 3 and what does that mean? And I'm going to need a compiled contract address. I'm going to need a network RPC URL. I'm going to need the ABI JSON loaded into my front end. I'm going to need to map the button, a function from a smart contract to a button. That whole process of like, how to do that efficiently. And because like, if you think about it, like 90% of what you're doing in a hackathon is exactly that, is mapping contract functions to button. And the cool thing about this permissionless world is anybody can hit any function on any smart contract, right? Like that's part of like building a protocol on top of something else. So the composability is amazing. And yeah, we wanted to, but I learned like in my first, I learned hard and I'm still learning as far as like just getting better with the LSPs. But like what's really different about developing on Luxo is that like there are some new gotchas. There are some extra new steps. You can't just take ERC solidity standards that from like, the majority of cookbook dev contracts aren't really going to showcase what's special about building on Luxo. For that, you need to use the LSP standards. And there's some gotchas that come with like developing on other EVM chains and then it's coming to Luxo. Speedrun Luxo highlights these things very well. It also targets it kind of builds upon the existing challenges. So like if you've already speedran Ethereum, you're going to be halfway there, but the focus is really on like what's new and what's different in order to be effective developing on Luxo. So I'm really excited that the challenges are coming together. We're probably going to have our first set done for our wave 1 milestone by the end of this week, if not early next week. We also have like Luxo specific challenges, which are going to kind of focus on a combination of like tools that we've kind of developed internally. One of them is that I'm really excited about. And actually, I think he's on this call, is Valentine made a Scaffold ETH2 extension for universal profiles. So like the amazing thing with this is like Scaffold ETH2 is this great Web3 starter, but it ended up in this situation where there was a bunch of different forks that showcased like, oh, I use Scaffold ETH2 with this feature. And that fork didn't stay in sync with the upstream starter kit changes. So this extension actually runs npx create ETH latest. So you get like the latest version with all the bug fixes and security benefits of Scaffold ETH2. Then it adds in support for universal profiles for reading and fetching of metadata. So you kind of get, and then if it's not a universal profile, then it falls back to ENS avatar lookup and then just displays the profile address. So it's this really graceful, seamless UI starter for just like solving that one problem really, really well and doing that with a one-line command. So yeah, speedrun Ethereum, it's going to be awesome. Some of my grant included a little budget to bootstrap a DAO for the developer DAO. And that's going to be focused on kind of micro grants to students who complete our challenges and have like a little project that they want to focus on in the wild. There's also an idea we're playing with where there's a bounty board of like things we'd like to see built that, everyone is wearing multiple hats in this community and there's so much to build. So this is kind of like where we get the opportunity to crowdsource from the people who can't build but would like to see, because I bet you there's going to be some people who come through and just don't have ideas and need ideas of what to build. And that's something that we're trying to help connect developers to ideas And then once they've shown that they can execute on those ideas, developers to resources and opportunities in the ecosystem. I think that's Speedrun's #1 goal, and that's what we're here to do. And amazingly, one of these developers who's kind of come out of this idea of SpeedrunLUKSO is Valentine, who I'm going to kind of hand it off to him to speak next about what he's doing at Kitso. But yeah, this is just like, there's so much to build and we're all in it together. And yeah, I'm just so excited for the future. So please check out my project, SpeedrunLUKSO.
Yeah, great there, Tanto. Again, that speedrunLUKSO, you guys can throw some funding towards that. It's up on the Gitcoin round right now. We'll get Kitso up here in a sec. I just wanted to respond to some of that there, Tanto. I think one of the first conversations I had with you was when you were going through a lot of that speedrun Ethereum stuff, and you came in, you were bullish and telling me about how much LUKSO could benefit from something like this. So I think those custom package stuff for building on LUKSO is fantastic. I love how it focuses as well on like diversity that other devs on LUKSO have faced before, right? And being able to track all that and making sure that people that come next don't make the same mistakes. Love that. My question was actually going to be like, are you thinking about, gamification, bounties, like being able to give out funds for participating in upping the speedrunning of LUKSO, which it seems like that's tends to be like a big part of your roadmap coming up, yeah?
Yeah, 100%. It's I'm not sure, like the idea is kind of to like very much, I'm not sure if we're going to do direct paid bounties for completing the challenges. I'd very much rather give micro grants to someone who completes all the challenges, because then I know that I'm giving money to a dev who's worked with, like they've deployed an LSP on testnet. They've, you know what I mean? They've built,
Yep.
and they want to build something new with these building blocks they've just been introduced to. So they've already proven that they have the skill set. Why not pay them to stick around for a month, build a little hobby pod project, monitor it, and then hopefully this sets them up for like it can be a segue towards larger things, or a wave 2, wave 3. I'm hoping that like Fancy kind of takes a look at some of the students coming. I wouldn't be surprised if you see like the next 5 to 10x devs who join the LUKSO community come out of this program that I'm building. I think that's the goal, at least, right? Let's just
Right.
get more people in here who are capable of executing, because
Right.
there's this is such a good community here. Like everyone's going to rally behind our builders. That's one thing that's so rewarding about building on LUKSO, is that everyone just gives you so much love, and so there's so much positivity and potential. So realigning the community around like just a hub of getting these people in the door, and then really focus on keeping here. That's kind of what I'd like to SpeedrunLUKSO to do.
Yeah, it's fantastic, man. I love the vision. Love to hear you talk about it too. I've already supported on the Gitcoin round. Hopefully, more people that listen to this lightning talk go ahead and do as well. And this feels like a good segue to get your friend Valentine up here from Kitso as well. So I'll move them up onto the stage. Thanks again, Tanto, another person who's come on a lightning talk several times now and just blessed with knowledge. It's great stuff. Um, I'll move you down now, Tonto, unless you'd like to stay up while Valentine is up here. Totally up to you.
Yeah, I'll hang out for a bit.
Okay, cool. Valentine from Kitso, how are you?
Hello, hi everyone. Thank you very much for setting this up. I really appreciate the effort. You guys are really doing a lot for the ecosystem, and I can't thank you enough, because KEEZ keeps me updated on literally everything that is going on in the ecosystem, and I appreciate you guys for making the time for that. And I'd also like to appreciate speedrunLUKSO, because I was given the opportunity to do something amazing for the ecosystem, and Tanto created the opportunity for me, and I appreciate him for that as well, because I know building the universal profile extension, giving developers the opportunity to easily integrate, LUKSO features into Scaffold, using Scaffold. Yeah, that was an amazing project, and I came out victorious in the hackathon for it as well, so that was cool. And yeah, so it's been exciting, being in a part of LUKSO, sure. But I feel like there are a lot of ways LUKSO can still go. I know at some points LUKSO was valued at $10 plus, and now we are kind of falling short. And this is one of the pain points that I have been really focused on, is that how do we get back up there? Hell, how do we exceed that milestone? And one of the ways that we could achieve this is by encouraging people to build more on LUKSO. So, like, Ethelian posted something recently about having stable coins on the net, and I also had this discussion with Sleepy Sign a while back. He made this point as well, and we discussed it as longer with Tanto as well. And having these ideas and encouraging these ideas and executing on them, these are the things that would make LUKSO to really grow as an ecosystem. And the community is really healthy as well, because we are very engaging. We come here together and we discuss our ideas, and it's very cool. But we need more action. We need more developers. We need more build, and we need more support as well, right? And that's one of the beauty of Kitso, because Kitso gives developers the opportunity to build on LUKSO, because a lot of things that are on the blockchain right now are mostly on web. So Kitso focuses on the mobile aspect, and I'm not one that likes to wait around. I don't want. I know everybody's been talking about when mobile wallet, when mobile wallet. I'm not one that likes to wait around. I literally built a mobile wallet inside Kitso, so it's a built-in wallet that you can use to sign your transactions in your mobile dApps and all that. And we will be pushing builds very, very soon. Actually, we will definitely showcase some of the amazing things you can do on Kitso that you can definitely ship on mainnet, as it supports that. Even the MVP as it is, we do have a lot planned out, but even the MVP as it is can still do a lot for the ecosystem. And we have a lot of things planned out. If you check out my my description in the Gitcoin rounds, you will see the roadmap. It's not We are not here to joke around. We're not here to just rack up a few dollars. We are here with a clear-cut vision of where we need to be in the next 2 years, 3 years. We've planned all that out, and we're executing on it daily. And I'm very, very happy to have Tanto Defi, speedrunLUKSO, and the rest of the community supporting me on this. I post a lot on Twitter, and I see a lot of engagements. I know Fabian has engaged, the LUKSO Foundation has engaged, KEEZ engaged, almost a lot of people in the ecosystem engaged, and I really appreciate it. And they have been contributing to my grants, and I really do appreciate it. I mean, I post my appreciation messages a lot, right? So, and it really motivates me to keep going in what I do. And soon you will see the impact, the true impact of Kitso. We have a lot of things planned out, like I've said, and I won't share a lot of them now. Let's keep it a mystery for now, because they will come out bit by bit. But trust me when I say we have a lot of things planned for LUKSO. So the idea is to make sure that we have a lot of builds. And one of our major goals with Kitso is to incentivize developers to build on LUKSO. Right? So we encourage you to build, but then we give you an incentive to keep building on LUKSO, not just to build, but to get creative, right? So we don't want another NFT. We'd appreciate it, but we need more on LUKSO. If you're brilliant enough to set up a stablecoin strategy and bring out a stablecoin on LUKSO, this is something that I would like to fund. I know we don't have the means now, but it is part of our strategy, and we are looking forward to it. We have a lot more planned, and we are really, really hoping for everybody's support on this. But yeah, I really do appreciate the effort from the ecosystem and everything you guys do. Thank you very much for all that.
Absolutely, man. We're just trying to support builders like yourself, and I mean, it's great to hear from the both of you echoing the same sentiment of we need more builders around LUKSO, and I couldn't agree more, right? And Kitso being this up-to-date starter kit for streamlined dApp development, and speedrunLUKSO being this way for devs to get on, familiarize themselves with LUKSO, share common issues that they face across all the devs that are trying to do it, and earn bounties while doing it. I could see both of these being, pillars for the developer community around LUKSO moving forward. So yeah, I'm happy to support. Hope everybody else is happy to support as well. Doesn't seem like we have many questions for you guys here in the chat, but if there's anything else you guys want to add before we jump to our next guests, feel free.
Yeah, I mean, you just heard it right there, right? I'm just onboarding killer devs to the space. Like Valentine is what we need, and I mean that as a joke and a compliment, not an insult. But he's not happy to just sit around. He's out here. He sees the energy and the love and the all the possibilities of what's out here to build, and like he's excited about helping lay the foundation of like the next 100 people to come in. And if it can, like, I was thinking to myself, like, how many times are we gonna, even the teams that are here, like, I love everybody who I'm building with, against, in this community, but like, how many times are we gonna solve the same problem? And why are all these components not abstracted away into a library starter set where you just like drag and drop, right? Like, I think that like so much of the LSPs all have interfaces and they're set. So at a certain point, we're dealing with structured data, and there's only a limited amount of interactions one can take with all of these interfaces. You match that to the front end components, and then you just give that to people and bring in custom app logic, right? Developers who wants to focus on music should be focusing on Web 2 APIs and not solving the same problems that every other team has already solved, and that there isn't just one cohesive like open repo of like, hey, these are the best components we have that like solve all of this basic UI, like an address input search for a metadata username of an up. Do you know what I mean? Like, how many times we're gonna like roll like that should be day one. Here you go. All right, I'm done. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, you make a lot of good point there. I like there's a lot of things that can go on in LUKSO right now, and LUKSO we are at a point where like we have a lot of room to be creative, because there's a lot more to bring out. There's a lot more to build, and I mean we have a lot of people in the ecosystem with a lot of great ideas, but I feel like there just aren't enough developers to execute on those ideas, and that's our mission, is to educate the developers when they come in and give them the tools to execute. SpeedrunLUKSO to educate, Kitso to execute. And when Kitso gets enough funding, we can definitely bring out something for the web, and then we can also have a web version. But currently, yeah, we are definitely set up for the mobile. We already have scaffolding for the web as well, but we are set up for the mobile. SpeedrunLUKSO can educate developers on getting started. I know when I came into Ethereum, I literally went through the Speedrun Ethereum course, and that set me up, gave me the fundamentals I needed to get to this point in my career. And we have speedrunLUKSO for that on the LUKSO ecosystem. We have Kitso as a tool. Yeah, we are all set. We just need to execute, and that's what I'm all about, executing.
Valentine, I love the energy, man, and that was a absolute bar you just dropped right there. SpeedrunLUKSO to educate and Kitso to execute. That should be a slogan that we're going to run on a nice marketing campaign over the next month. We'll push those shorts out everywhere. Make sure everybody knows speedruns to educate, Kitsos to execute. Looking forward to keeping up with you guys as you're developing there further. We're going to drop you guys down and get the next guest up here. But again, thanks. And for people who want to make sure that the education and execution of these dApps, thanks to speedrunLUKSO and Kitso, are being funded, go find them on the Gitcoin round that's open on LUKSO right now. All right. Thanks again, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Next guest, Tehnalogos. Been waiting oh so patiently. Get him on up here. Tehnalogos from the YearOne team. How are you today?
Pretty good. How are you guys doing?
Doing great. Thanks for all your patience down there.
No problem. Yeah, great to be here, and first time doing a lightning talk, so it's pretty cool to be here.
Yeah, thanks for coming. We always love when we get new guests, as much as it's great to have Tanto and Heisenberg back week over week. It's good when we get new ones.
Awesome. So on our end, yeah, let me share my screen. But we just recently shipped Hashlists, and I'll just go over a bit the path to this and kind of like the motivation behind it. So as you know, we built the universal grave last year, or we during the hackathon, and then we released it on mainnet. And then during the release process, user feedback process, one big thing we realized is that a limitation of the particular standards involved when building the universal grave. So the universal receiver delegate is that you kind of have to constantly fine-tune and manage allow lists for spam, and that's what the universal grave aimed to do. It aimed to block spam from getting into your digital wallet. So right now, users have to constantly micromanage, allow particular assets into their wallet instead of them getting redirected to their spam box. So we realized that what was missing was like a universal list of assets that aren't spam and are managed by a reputable source. But like, what's an easy way to do that? So then, we started thinking about what are the missing components from the ecosystem that could allow for someone to build that and for others to use it. So that's how we came up with Hashlists. So Hashlists is a way for anyone to curate addresses from the LUKSO blockchain. So I'll jump into Discover Lists here on LUKSO and give you an idea of what this looks like. But it's basically any address that is on that is on the blockchain. Can be a universal profile, can be an LSP8 collection, an LSP7 collection, can be a protocol contract, can be virtually anything. You can curate it into a list that then others can build on top of. So here we have a list of builders I've curated. It's still a work in progress. It was mainly a way to showcase what is possible. And you see their addresses here. So these are addresses. They are actual NFTs that got minted as part of this list. And so there's a record for each of the curated entries on the blockchain. And so like one possible use case here is someone could easily airdrop all these addresses and NFT using solely on-chain logic. Like they wouldn't have to go in and manually build the addresses of these universal profiles and then like add them to some list and then kind of like send to that list. It could all be a single product that you just plug into any curated list and you airdrop to all the entities on that list something. So that's one use case. But another use case is you could build a list of all the safe LSP8s and LSP7s, and people could plug that into their universal receiver delegates and get all the spam filtered from their wallets instead of having to constantly manage it themselves. And like maybe I can also give a quick demo of what this looks like. So if we do a new list, and I can take some requests here so this can be a Lightning Talks demo. LTD. So I'm filling out the fields for this curated list, and you'll see that they're very much similar to what the fields are when creating a new collection, a new digital assets collection, because this is an LSP8 collection under the hood. And then, yeah, so I'll sign a few transactions. But yeah, in the meantime, I don't know, Sage, maybe you have any questions while I click through these that come to mind?
Yeah, maybe not some questions, but some quick comments too. I think Universal Grave is a fantastic product. I think that is solving a use case, solving an issue that is prevalent across everyone who uses at least MetaMask or really any crypto wallet that you use. That is like one of the big, when I'm talking to a Web3er, talking about wallet spam is always an issue, right? So you guys are solving a great use case there, and adding this layer to it with Hashlist of being able to now curate these unique experiences of everybody on this verified list. I want to allow all this in, but if it's not on this verified list, it's not let in. That's just the primitive, right? That's the first type of It's the easiest one to give, but there can be so many different complex examples of it.
Yeah, exactly. So here, as an example, I'll just go and add some LSP8 collections. So I'll go with whatever shows up on the Universal Profiles feed, but just to give people an idea of what the process is like. So here we're curating platies, and let me add something else. So it can be anything. It can be LSP7s. It can be LSP8s. I just want to do some that have verified users, though. So
It could also be a universal profile itself,
yeah,
right?
it can be literally everything. In this instance, I just wanted to showcase kind of specifically digital assets. So let's say we take this and we add it in, and you'll see that for everything that's an LSP standard that has metadata, we automatically pull up that metadata when you add the address in. So that's one, it becomes very visual, and two, you're less likely to make a mistake if you put in the wrong address for something, because you instantly get feedback of what you're creating looks like, and you get the links to it too, and you can check the description and so on. So I'll publish this, and it's really just this simple. And so right now we're curating things from the blockchain. The next step, which would be pretty cool, is curating things from the real world. So one way to do that is to be able to curate anything that is representable by URL. Like, it's possible to essentially get curated lists that way. So you can think of alternative news sources that people might appreciate, because right now it's pretty polarized context, really hard to know which media is trustworthy or which media kind of like adheres to particular norms. So you could do something like that, for example, or I don't know, curate a list of your favorite music albums and share it on your universal profile too. So this is the kind of things we're thinking about, and people are asking, like how can we visualize this? What is it like? What could it look like? And so today I built a really quick demo of something I called Hashsurfer. So what is Hashsurfer? You basically get the whole Universal Profiles community curating lists, links that you can then go on and explore, and you randomly land on a list, on a link. So this plugs into the links that people that have universal profiles have curated under their profile. If you've ever used StumbleUpon way back, this is something very similar, but it plugs in directly into the LUKSO blockchain. So here we're plugging into links on universal profiles, but we could, you could also very easily plug into curated lists of sorts. So you can build up a reputation for these links and explore that way. And you just, click #surf and you get a next link, and you can learn more about the LUKSO community. You can learn more about what makes people's interests up. Some of these links are they're like blocking iframe embedding, but literally just built this within the last few hours, so I don't have all the details fleshed out, but this is kind of like one way to illustrate how you can bridge Web 2 into Web 3 through the tools we have at our disposal on LUKSO.
Very cool, man. Yeah, so many thoughts there. I love just the curation ideas behind it, right? You have the grid that's coming out from the LUKSO team, which is along the same ideas of like just being able to curate information, right? Like, this is a huge issue that LUKSO solves as well, is that, like, when you have your MetaMask, it doesn't have any data about yourself, and people might not want data about themselves, but data about yourself goes a lot farther than like what your name is, right? It's what music you listen to, it's what colors you like, it's all of those things as well that may not count as like PII information. And this goes a long way to being able to do that, which is, yeah, I really enjoy that.
Yep, for sure. And it's I don't know if you had this experience, but in the kind of earlier days of the web, you would kind of just go and get lost online. It was very seldom that you had a very curated experience by algos. It was usually by people. So I think like that kind of experience can be a lot more enjoyable because you're literally falling into links that might change your perception of the world or expose you to something that you would never have gotten exposed to if you were just in your algo bubble that's only catering to your biases, your interests, not really trying to break that that wall there.
Yeah, very true. Cool function. I mean, immediately I was like, oh, like randomizing, that's kind of, I mean, it's cool. You can just sit on there and randomize it and see new things all day. It'd be nice if I could like, have a list as well of, if I curate one and then you curate one and ETH curates one and Tanto curates one, I could see, what we all have curated. I think things like that would be cool, which would obviously be just another use case that you could flesh out here.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It looks like you got a question from Sleepy here too, which he says, what about newly created and airdropped assets? Will users have to get the contract address and add that to their list to view potential airdropped items? I think I had a similar question of like, are your hash lists updatable?
Yeah, they're updatable, and you could actually curate creators. So you could curate the artists or the communities that tend to do drops a lot or release art often. And then eventually when we integrate this into the universal grave or its new iteration, you won't even have to worry about curating particular projects. You could just curate the artists, and as long as they are the creator for a new item, that item will automatically like still get whitelisted.
Right. Yeah, would have to add it to the hash list, but that's not really a big deal. I mean, wouldn't have to add it if I, Sleepy does a bunch of different ones, right? If I just add his up, now I'll get all of the airdrops and all of the potential art that he puts
Exactly.
out that I go. Yeah. Very cool, man.
All right. Yeah, if there's no more questions, I'll drop off.
Cool. Yeah, it doesn't look like we have any other questions. Hashlist is up on the Gitcoin round, correct?
Yes, and we're trying to get some help, like ideally if we can get some more funding to do the real world stuff, that would be awesome, and expand further functionality here, like supporting more nuanced views for LSP7s, LSP8s, getting the experience fleshed out for mobile, and so on. So there's a lot more that can be done here, but I mean, we'll continue building out regardless, but it would be great to get some community support.
Love to hear it. Yeah. For those of you who enjoyed what these guys have put forward here with Hashlist and that hash surf, which is, love the name, love the idea there. Go support these guys on Gitcoin. It goes a long way. Thanks for coming on again, Tehnalogos.
Thank you. Have a good one, guys. And thank you for everything you do.
Of course, man. You too. All right. I think that we have one more person that's scheduled here, which is Alex down there. We'll promote Alex up here and see if he's around. Alex, how are you today?
Hello, I'm doing well. What about you?
I am doing great. Thanks for all your patience, man. And for those of you who don't know, it is more patience than just today, too. This has been going on maybe 4 weeks now of trying to get Alex on Lightning Talks here.
I know, and most people doesn't know, but we've been trying to set up a call for the last month or month and a half, but for some reason the platform didn't work and there were some other issues and stuff. And then last week, finally, everything went all right, but I was sleeping because I usually sleep like 3 hours a day, and I miss it. But yesterday I promised to Sage to sleep early, to wake up early and being here. So thank you for having me here finally. And can I share my screen right now?
Absolutely, yeah. Good.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm going to show you guys my latest drop on Universal page named the TimeRider 2024. This page, this drop is very special for me because this is my one favorite character of all time. I made it in 2029, 2000, and I was just trying to figure out what I was doing. I was doing 2D, but then I went to 3D. I made that jumping, and I really like this character with the history behind. He is a time traveler, and he is going through galaxies and collecting all the experiences from the stars and nebulas and such as space things, and getting them up to just transferring them to another time rider in some point. So it's kind of us. We are going through life just getting it up experiences and knowledge just to get them to another person in the future, right? So that's why this character is very personal for me, and I made a 2024 remaster for it. I can show you guys the versions before this. Let me just switch to Instagram, and you can watch exactly what I'm talking about. So this is the first version of the Time Rider made in Cinema 4D and Photoshop. And then there was a little update. I hide it because I'm working on my portfolio in Instagram. But let's go to Foundation because there I have it. I have the other version of the Time Rider, which is the second one, and after that, this is the one. And for this one, I started experimenting with animation, but not 3D, in 2D. So I made it in Cinema 4D, then in After Effects and Photoshop to create the animation, and finally we came to the Time Rider 2024. And this is not only for the character or the history, but it's actually for the evolution on my work. You can see clearly how much I grown in the 3D area, and also making some 2D matte painting too, to get this aesthetic, the classic aesthetic that I really liked. And that's some of the history behind of on the art. So this one says mint and win the poster. I went to many printers here in my town, and I found one who was very cool, and gave me this canvas, this huge canvas that is ready to be sent to one of the 15 collectors of the Time Rider. That's why this is very interesting, because this poster is a 101 high quality and will be not seen again. So for when the drop is sell out, I'm going to make a raffle in a live on X, and the lucky winner will be provide with this large, very large, high quality print. So something very important here is that if any of you want to get the one ticket for the raffle, and you don't have a X account, just send me a email so I can contact you in case that you win, because we got like 5 people who just bought the piece but doesn't have any X account or contact account. So that's very important if you really want to be in the dynamic. And something else that I haven't announced, but I'm going to do the alpha right now, is that I'm doing a collaboration with the Hub. Do you know the Hub? And we set up a full custom suite wearable that is going to be given to the collectors to the TimeRider 2024. So we are giving 2 gifts. One gift is this wearable suite for free, and the other one is the one ticket for the raffle of the high quality poster. So what I'm trying to do from this drop to the next one and the next one is to integrate ERL gifts to the digital asset, right? I really want people to have physical things on their home to say, hey, this is my favorite artist on LUKSO, or this is my favorite artist, digital artist, and make this culture bigger and bigger. So for now, this is the first experiment, and as you can see, the poster is huge, just to make it super relevant for some people. But for in the future, it's not going to be that big, or maybe it's going to be in a different way. I don't know. I'm trying to get feedback from other people too, and not much more. Do you have any questions?
I don't have any questions, and it doesn't look like there's any questions in the chat. Just some comments. I mean, I love the art, man. That looks like a really high quality image. Good on you going to find someone that can do the art justice, right? Because it's one thing to make it in the digital version, another thing to bring it to life. That hub avatar, excited about that one as well. I will try to enter the raffle. That thing's like almost body size, huh? How tall are you? What is it, like 3 feet, 4 feet?
Yep,
Almost.
there is only 3 editions available, and again, this print is not going to be produced in other ways. This is a one-of-one, and it's gone. It's gone, and you are one of you. 15 collectors is going to have it. So yeah, just take a look and check about it, and please collect, because there are only 3 ones available.
Cool. One question before pop you down back to the audience. Are you available to ship to anywhere, or is there any shipping limitations on that? Or
Yeah, here in my town we got DHL and FedEx, so both of them work worldwide, so that's not a problem.
sweet. Sounds good, man. Again, great to hear from you. Thanks for setting that alarm and making this happen. I'm glad we could be here for the announcement of that as well.
No, thank you for having me here. Such a great space for the great projects. I think I'm the only one artist who talks about their art and being so personal. But I really congratulate everyone who is trying to build this community through their amazing ideas and projects. I'm just a guy trying to make art because I'm an artist. I'm not a dep or anything. So thanks so much for the space again. This is my second time, and it's very funny to be here. And thank you everyone, and cheers from Mexico. Hola a todos.
Woo! Thanks for coming, Alex. All right, let us see if there are any people from the audience that would like to come and speak. I know that the man Sleepy said that he might be able to come and share. Let's see. It doesn't seem like he's here. Oh no, he is here. Sleepy, if you'd like to come talk, just raise your hand. If not, I'll just do a quick little outro here. Rob, you're back. Hello. Shipstone. Ah, right. One other one, Shipstone. Shipstone, hello, bringing you up. Now this is Cart from Shipstone. How are you today, Cart?
I'm doing fine. Hi.
Hello. Sorry, I almost blanked on you there.
No, it's okay. You kept the best for last, and I appreciate that. So,
Of course.
um,
I see you're joining us through Farcaster today.
that's right. It relates to the project that I'm going to be talking to you all about today. Again, first, thanks for inviting me to the Lightning Talks. I appreciate the opportunity to tell people about what we're doing for the LUKSO community. So, we have an existing grant from the LUKSO Foundation to develop what was called the LUKSO Farcaster project. And the focus of this project is to allow LUKSO communities to engage with other communities, sometimes much larger communities, and easily share their profiles, tokens, and assets. And in fact, that project is not quite completed, but it's completed enough so that people here can actually try it right away. If you go to our grant link, you'll see um, a link that's LUKSO.shipstone.com, which would allow you to go to a modified universal profile page, which allows you to directly cast, which is the same thing as post in the Farcaster world, um, information, things like your assets, your profile, or tokens directly to Farcaster or Warpcast clients. For those of you who aren't familiar with Farcaster, it's significantly more popular than any other Web3 social community I'm aware of. They're doing a really good job and they're growing fast. So I felt it was important, and the LUKSO Foundation agreed with me. I'd like to thank Clara and Hugo. I don't suppose they're here, for helping out. They were great during that project development. But I'm here to talk about kind of what the next step is. Right now, you can actually use the product that we've developed and both do two things. You can either post on Farcaster, or you can actually just go to the universal profile page that we've developed, and you can actually see the interaction that Farcaster users have with your content, with your posts. So it goes both directions. Farcaster people learn about you. LUKSO community members learn about Farcaster. And Farcaster at this point is running around 100,000 people daily. So it's obviously got enough traffic to be of interest. So what's the next step? And in talking with the foundation and other people, we thought that we'd suggest an extension to this project that would do three things in particular. The first would be to extend access to an even bigger community, or Telegram. We created a mini app that works with Warpcast, and what we'd like to do is upgrade it so that it works with both Warpcast and with Telegram, so that you could easily, while you're within Telegram, share your assets, your tokens. So that's we think that's interesting. We'd also like to add a new buy button that would allow people to, if they see your information in the mini app, in Telegram, or in Farcaster, buy it directly. And I think that would be exciting, and it's not a hard add to the mini app that we have already. And then the third one would be to more tightly integrate LUKSO community information with Farcaster, so that you can actually have your entire universal profile within Farcaster and share anything at any time with anyone. So that I think really changes the way people can engage in a really positive way. And that is the focus of what we're doing. So I would say that's important for all of those LUKSO community members that want to get out and meet with more interested community members. But I think what's also important, and I should have said this up front, this is an open source project. We expect to be able to hand over high quality product components that you'll be able to use in your own applications for this kind of functionality, specifically sharing on social media. And I think that's pretty much it. But I'm available for questions.
Great. Really happy I didn't skip over you here. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot of questions in the chat, but there is a whole lot of sentiment, like a great sentiment in the chat of people being really happy that they stuck around for the presentation and that this kind of project is coming to LUKSO. I think you guys are picking two fantastic areas. Of obviously, Telegram is huge around crypto, and this like a buy button or some sorts of buttons that would be able to directly interact between there and a universal profile seems obvious. And then Farcaster, with just like I agree with your sentiment entirely that they're the largest, the fastest growing Web3 social app. So as people say, LUKSO is the social chain, so getting LUKSO involved in them makes a whole lot of sense too. So great to see that you guys are doing that. Yeah, Tanto just asked, is there an SDK? You said there will be. Anything else you want to add to that? Or add in general, I guess. I cannot hear. Rob, can you still hear me? Can you hear? Or, yeah, may have drifted off here. You might want to try to mute and unmute there again, and that might help. We are running up on the hour-long timeline, which I don't think this call will auto end, but there is. Oh, you can hear him, Jack? Oh. Oh, maybe.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Sounds like you're back. Yep, I can hear you now.
Could people hear me before or not, I guess?
It seems like after you stopped talking the first time, we didn't hear you again, but we got you now.
Oh, okay. So I'm not sure what you didn't hear, but I just want to end up by saying we're in the community grant proposal list, and I'd love it if we could get some feedback on what you all think we should do here. I mean, I think Telegram and buy button is all great, but we're probably missing something. So anything that you all would like to do that would make it easier for LUKSO community members to get involved, we want to do it to help out. So that was it.
Absolutely, yeah, great sentiment there. We'll make sure to echo it. We'd love people checking out your app and making sure that you guys are hitting all the boxes that you could potentially hit. I know Jack there is also the he has, I don't want to say control over, but he started the LUKSO group on Farcaster, so he might be a good connect for you guys. I know a lot of LUKSO content goes through that channel. Yeah, whether you guys could leverage that or not, but yeah, great presentation there. If there's anything else you'd like to end on, feel free to go ahead.
I just appreciate the opportunity to do this, and let's make these things happen, right? So
of course, yeah. And just for your information or any information for people watching too, we're here every Tuesday. So if any updates come again, or if you'd like to come on a Lightning Talks again, just shoot me a message and we can get you on any Tuesday you'd like.
Great.
Cool. Thanks again. All righty. Now we're going on an hour. I don't like to make these lightning talks more than an hour, so I'm going to wrap it up here. Sleepy, if you're down there and you would like to chat, feel free to raise your hand, but you got to make it super quick. If not, we got space for you next week. We got plenty of space next week. I'll try to do a quick wrap up here now. Yeah. So thanks for everyone for coming to Lightning Talks this week. We had a lot of great guests, that are involved in the Gitcoin round in LUKSO. So if you guys are interested in backing a lot of these builders or artists, that are participating around LUKSO. Make sure you go hit that Gitcoin round. We had universal profile management systems. We had dApp development tools. We had education tools for the LUKSO blockchain. We had hash lists where you could curate lists of your favorite following directly on chain. We had artists like Alex coming and unveiling their one-of-ones, and a whole bunch more. And hopefully we can get a whole bunch more next week, next Tuesday around the same time. Again, Lightning Talks are our weekly show. For the rest of KEEZ content, we got our spaces tomorrow. If you'd like to come in and jam in that spaces on Twitter, it's at about, I think it's at 1. I think it's the same time that this was today, but tomorrow. And then Thursday, we got the wrap up, which that's going to be a great wrap up. It's on at 11 a.m. On Thursday. We're going to cover this Gitcoin round, so we'll probably talk about a lot of the projects that we just heard from here. We're also going to talk about the layer 1 to layer 2 conversation that's been happening a lot around some of Vitalik's blog posts. We're going to talk about some of the base issues that came up over the weekend. We're going to talk about stablecoins on LUKSO, and you're going to hear from the 8-armed Alts Anonymous as well. So make sure you attend that wrap up on Thursday. And as always, to stay up to date with everything KEEZ, make sure to follow our Twitter. Thanks everyone for coming, and have a great week.